Okay, and okay, good. So we are starting the last piece in Reb Chaim Brisker on Hilchos Tfillin. So it's Perak Aleph Halacha Tezvav. So interesting enough, Hilchos Tfillin and the Rambam comes together. It's Hilchos Sefer Torah Tfillin and Mezuzah. Normally all three are the same, so it starts a little bit all the same, and then it breaks up to Sefer Torah, Mezuzah, and Tfillin. Obviously, they have different halachas. Obviously, a Sefer Torah doesn't look like a Mezuzah, and Mezuzah doesn't look like a Tfillin. They are different objects, different halachas, but as should be expected, there is common denominator in all three. So we're going to start with halacha that's for all three. Perek Aleph, halacha Tesvav. The Rambam says in Hilchos Tfillin, which is Hilchos Sefer Torah, Tfillin, Umezuzah. Hakosi Sefer Torah, Tfillin, Umezuzah. If you're writing any one of them, Ubishaksi v'lo lo kavana, and while you're writing, you did not have intention, because of us karim and us karishbhem, and you wrote a name of Hashem, Shelo Lishman. It seems like because you had no intention, that's why it's called Shelo Lishman. It's not for the name of Hashem because you had no intention. It seems like there's some extra requirement. When you write Shem Hashem, you need intention. We're going to talk more about this. Psulin. Then it's puzzle. What's puzzle? The Sefer Torah or the Mezuzah or the Tfillin, because one time for one Shem Hashem, you did not have intention. We'll have to discuss what that means exactly. That's enough to make the whole item no good. Says Reb Chaim Brisker, Mevur b'divrei Rambam, Direkas karasim lo kosum l'shman, hu de b'sulim a Torah tefillah mezuzah. Avodim siva sefer Torah mezuzah atzmo, kosher gam below kavana. The Rambam says here that this requirement of Shema affects but and only the name of Hashem. The name of Hashem that's in the sefer Torah tefillah mezuzah needs to be l'shma, but the rest of it doesn't need that. So let's talk about all three parashiyas having it Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. All both Tfillin and Mezuzah and Sefer Torah, they all have in this pasuk Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. So this pasuk Shema Yisrael is not Shem Hashem. So a person were to write down the word Shema Yisrael with no kavana, it's just copying, no particular intentions. It's not lishma, whatever we're going to discuss what it means lishma, but no particular intentions. It's fine. There is no problem. The Rambam says the only problem is later in the pasuk when you get to Hashem Elokeinu Hashem, you need intention. You better have intention when you do that. Otherwise, the item is totally puzzled. But just to have intention for the Sefer Torah itself, the Mezuzah itself, or the Tefillin itself, there's no such requirement. You need not do that. That's the diuk he has from this one place in the Rambam. Why? There are 3 million in front of him. The Kavanas is Karsul Hashem Kedushas Hashem. These are two separate halachas. One is to have in mind for the object that you're writing, the item itself. That item is the Sefer Torah Tefillah Mezuzah. That the Rambam doesn't say you need kavana. But the Shem Hashem, each time, every Shem Hashem inside that Sefer Torah Tefillah Mezuzah does need a special kavana. Okay. That was one Rambam Perek Aleph. Similarly, when we look later in the Rambam, Perek Yud, the Rambam has a list. Anything that could go wrong to make you Sefer Torah apostle, there's a list. There, the Rambam says, Shekosov has kars below kavana. Again, he says you wrote the name of Hashem without kavana. It doesn't say that if you wrote the rest of the words of the Sefer Torah without having in mind that be a Sefer Torah that's apostle. Mashma, again, there is no such requirement. You don't need lishma in the entire Sefer Torah. You need lishma only on the Shem Hashem of the Sefer Torah. That's the mashmas now from two Rambams that we've seen. You don't need kasiva lishma. You don't need when you're writing the Sefer Torah Tefillah Mezuzah to have in mind that it's the kavana for a Sefer Torah Tefillah Mezuzah. You don't need that. Only by the Shem Hashem. Rag with Kedushas Kars who the brain of Shichta from the Shem Kedushas. Mikasha. Rather is the begin of Mem Hey, the Park Sham Al Hadatanya, Umaisa Ben Nachi Echad Bitsidon, Sheikh Jose Svarham, Peter Mission Likach Mimano. So the Gemara says a story. The Gemara says there's a place Sidon that's southern Lebanon. Jewish people used to live there, not so many people there today. So there was a guy who also lived there in Lebanon. A Lebanese guy was there in Sidon at the time of the Gemara. And this guy needed a parnasa, a guy needed a parnasa. And he went out and said, what can I do? And he found that the Yidden are paying big bucks. And he was pretty good with his hands. He was an artistic guy. So he decided to write Sifrei Torah. A guy decided to write Sifrei Torah. That's what the Gemara says. And they asked, what should we do about this? And the Tana, Reb Shimon Gamliel, says, buy from him. No problem at all. Buy from him. That's the beginning of the Gemara. Let's see what happens in this Gemara. That's the order. It's a buy order. Ask the Gemara Kasha. Reb Shimon Gamliel, Ibel Shman boy, Sibel Shman lo boy. The Gemara says, I don't understand that. The Gemara says, the Tana, Reb Shimon Gamliel, we know about him. He requires ibud lishma. He requires that the Sefer Torah, the cloth that it's written on, the parchment itself needs to be prepared lishma. Before you get to any letters, you must do ibud lishma. That's what B'Shem Gamliel holds. Says the Gemara, if you need ibud lishma, kol shekain you need ksiva lishma. Ibud lishma is a preliminary step, getting the white for the Sefer Torah where you write the letters, getting the paper, getting the cloth. But the Osias themselves much more holy. So certainly, if Reb Shimon Gamliel holds you need ibud lishma, for sure he holds, says the Gemara, that you need ksiva lishma. Gemara says this is a good kasha. The Gemara says really you're right. And Reb Shimon Gamliel can never have issued a purchase order from a Sefer Torah that was written by a guy. It's not what happened. The Gemara changes the story a little bit. He said, Tzarchin al Rambam. This Gemara is going to be a kasha now against our Rambam. Why? Shapasak beperik alav shamalach yid aleph. Dibkvil shall say v'tar b'klav shall tfillin in idon shalosh mansulim. The Rambam does require it, not mezuzah, which we're not necessarily talking about today, but in tfillin and Sefer Torah, the Rambam requires you must do the ibud lishma. You must prepare the white, the cloth lishma. So on that, he's following Reb Shimon Gamliel. And the Gemara says, where David Pasha, if Reb Shimon Gamliel needs the cloth prepared lishma, for sure he needs the ksiva lishma. He needs that you have in mind the actual writing itself must be for the purpose of Sefer Torah or Tfillin. L'mashal, the Shema Yisrael, even though it's not named Hashem, not Shema, not Yisrael, but you need a special kavanah of L'shma there. That's what the Gemara says, and that's not in the Rambam. The Rambam doesn't have such a requirement. Says Reb Chaim, Tzarchina Rambam shapasuk perik alav shalom the gvil Sefer Torah klav shel Tfillin in ibon shalosh mapsulim kein pasuk perik yud sham. The Rambam seems not to be listening to Gemara. The Gemara said it's pashit that Reb Shimon Gamliel the Tana requires ibud lishma. He also requires ksiva lishma. The Rambam does require ibud lishma. The Rambam should require ksiva lishma. He doesn't say it. He leaves it out. Difficulty in the Rambam. The Gemara seems to be against him. Vinay. So what's the Rambam mean? Why does he not require ksiva lishma if he does require ibud lishma? It seems too much from the Rambam's really the ksiva kaven shabal nigmer v'chal kol din v'shem Sefer Torah tevin mezuzas the parsha ksuva hi etzem a Sefer Torah mishum hachi lo b'yin ba kavanas lishma kaven the ma'isa haksiva hiba atzmusa etzem ma'isa Sefer Torah tevin mezuzas. Claims Reb Chaim, when something becomes a Sefer Torah, what happens? You hire a sofer and want to have a Sefer Torah. So what's he do first? He goes to the store and he buys cloth. And you know what else buys there? He buys Geo. And he buys his kolmas. And he didn't write anything yet. And now he's ready to go. You get a sirtut on it. He's ready to go. But he didn't even start. Is he done? No way. Is that a Sefer Torah? No way. It's all white. He has the ink in a jug. He has his kolmas ready to go. He's got the cloth. It's not a Sefer Torah. He didn't start writing yet. It's just the preliminaries. When does it become a Sefer Torah? When he writes it, he puts the words down. Now it's starting to become a Sefer Torah. He's putting the words down. Says Reb Chaim, since when he puts the words down, it makes it into Sefer Torah. Therefore, you don't need any special lishma because the writing itself is clearly a Sefer Torah. Before that, I don't know what he's going to do with this cloth. Maybe he's going to make a laundry list. I don't know what he's going to do with the cloth. But once I see him writing it in Sefer Torah, writing the tefillin, now I see what it is. That's Reb Chaim's claim. Oh, that's a very interesting claim, but what's he going to do with the Gemara? It doesn't answer our Gemara. Our Gemara seems to say not that way. Gemara said in the story that Mishim Gamliel, if he needs ibud lishma, does need ksiva lishma. So what happened there? According to Reb Chaim, you wouldn't need it. It's a nice save term to film mezuzah. Okay, how about save term memela stoman lishmankoi? And he says there's a word called stoman lishmankoi. Even if you don't specify, it is called lishma. This is true by karbonis also. When you shecht, when you do the avoda and karbonis, there's a halacha of stoman lishma. Really, you're supposed to say explicitly what you're doing. You're supposed to say, this is an ola for Shimon. I'm bringing the ola for Shimon. That's the shame bailim Shimon, and it's called the shame korban, what the korban is ola. You're supposed to speak out at all. But once if you didn't say anything, you said nothing at all, and you shecht away. So really we hold stom and lishma, and that also is called lishma. So says Reb Chaim, every time you write the Sefer Torah Tefillah Mezuzah, you got a stom and lishma. Memela, this stom and lishma claim. Mashenking be'iva de kati lo nasu Sefer Torah Mezuzah rak meisa hechsher belvad hudavi. The cloth, preparing the cloth, is preliminary step. It's not clear what it is yet. But came bring in bo kavanas lishma. That needs kavanas. Came in the blav of Rambam meisa shum chalos kedusha klal. Asher levizem is yashva heitiv asugi the kitten gamadas Rambam. Now we can understand the Gemara. I don't understand the Gemara. The Gemara said that Rishon Gamliel needs also ksiva lishma. The Rambam does not say that you need ksiva lishma. How is that? The near the hadam meisa nachri lo avi bechol shmain ze rak neshum chisaron machshavto kim da nachri mufka mikar din asiyas lishma. Why is it that the guy is no good? That was the story in the Gemara over there. There's some Lebanese guy writing a Sefer Torah. Why is it no good? Says Reb Chaim, we could understand two different ways. Either because we guess that he doesn't mean it to be kosher, because he's a guy, he has other ideas. Or because since he's a guy, it's never called lishma. It can't be lishma because it's a guy writing. Says Reb Chaim, we must go the second way. It's not a guess that it's no good, it's definitely no good. The guy is not able to have lishma. A guy writing a Sefer Torah is not able to be considered lishma. Kachudino din b'maisav kol ikar chadol shel lishma. Since he's a guy, he can't do a Kaddish Sefer Torah. It's not shaykh to him. That's why the Gemara had a kasha. Why? Oh, very nice answer. When does the Rambam say that you don't need a din lishma? He's talking about a Jew. When a Jew writes a Sefer Torah, the Rambam says you don't need an extra din lishma. The writing itself is clear what you're doing, and stam lishma. But a guy be'etzem is puzzle. So a guy, when he writes it, it's lacking lishma. Because by a guy, you don't say stam lishma. The guy is mufka. The guy can't put in lishma. It's not that he had in mind. Maybe he had in mind. It doesn't make a difference what he says he has in mind, what he's trying to have in mind. He is a guy. He cannot create the Chiddushei Sefer Torah. It's not shaykh to him. He cannot put lishma in. Since he cannot, so that's why the Gemara has a kasha. Hey, how come Reb Shimon say a goyish Sefer Torah is good? That would need a din lishma, which cannot be added by the guy. But there's never such a Gemara that requires a din lishma when it's a Jewish person writing. In Kenya, Rapakim Neachdina the Sam Lishma Koi, Kevin the Gam Iker Mayusav Leisbu Halos din lishma. Umemela the Ksiva Ibul Shavan Bay, the Adarab Ksiva Old Boy Yos Lishma, Kev do Iker, a Sefer Torah in the Vils. Avaina Hanami do Yisrael, but by Yid. But by us, it's more of a requirement to do the ibud because it's not clear when you're doing the ibud what that nyar is going to be. Maybe you're going to write a ksuba on it. I don't know what you're going to write on that. So that needs lishma. That's the requirement of the Rambam. But when you actually write the ksiva, when you write the Sefer Torah Tfillin, then it's clear what it is, and then stam lishma. Rambam the pasuk ksiva snachim Sefer Torah psula mikro kshartem uksav tom. The Rambam says, you know why a guy is puzzled? The Rambam seems to say from the pasuk. Pasuk says you have to be a person who puts on tefillin, a person who's required to have a mezuzah. He's the one who can write. By a yid, you say someone lishman. Mishumachi hudishmin aksiva b'ksiva kol din lishman sefer Torah tefillin mezuzah. That's why the Rambam leaves out entirely any requirement that the Sefer Torah Tefillin Mezuzah should have a din of lishma said by the Jew, never required to be said by the Jew because it's automatic. When is there a din lishma? When he gets to the Shem Hashem. By the Shem Hashem it's different. We don't say stam lishma. Tells that Akasha and the Gemara itself that we're working on said, why is it that you're saying you need Ibn Lishma? What happens to Stom Lishma? About korcha, kamosh kasav, dinach bishani, leis be gam din shul stam lishmon kai. This is not a kashkwini of Chaim because we're talking about a goy in the Gemara. Goy can't possibly have a din lishma, so therefore Tosas has no question at all. And slightly different than Tosas, which seems to be asking a question. El de Kosha. Says Reb Chaim, step 2. I still have a question. Miyot because of Rambam Perik Al v'Hilchos Tfillin halachi yadav zel l'shano gvil shesev to a klaf shel Tfillin v'im avdin shalosh man psulin lefikach im avdin anachri psulin al pi shomru lo amarnu lo nach. We told the guy who was working the leather labid or zel l'shem sefer l'shem Tfillin. We told him do it l'shma psulin. Doesn't help. Shanachri adas atzma rosa lo adas hasocher asot. The nachri does for his own plans and not for the plans of the person hiring him. So though a Jew is Omed al Gabav, telling him, write it for Sefer Torah, write Lishma, just doesn't work. Because he's Aldas Atzmo, as the Lashon Rambam. Hooray, says Reb Chaim, the Toli B'Sulum Nachi B'Taim B'Dos Aldas Atzmo. It's because he has his own ideas. Halaf Hachiv wouldn't be at his own ideas. Ha'iv would kosher. In principle, the Yibud could be there. So it's not like I thought that the guy is totally removed. The other cause of Rambam Shenochi Das Atzmu also ain't pray which was of Chishina and Shimon those kind of cloud the same say to him so film is new pshat. That which we said, that which Rambam says explicitly, that the guy works for himself, he's not working for the person who hired him. So we could think it means maybe he has in mind that it should not be a Sefer Torah. Wrong pshat. Rak the Dina Noket Hacha. The Vadi Nachi came in the end of a Torah Sefer Torah to film is so he came and made the Mufko Gam Midin Lishma. Doesn't mean that. It means because he's a guy, it's not shaykh to Sefer Torah, so he's always called Aldas Atzmo because it's not shaykh to him, he can never get it right. It's not that he has bad intentions, he's not trying to mess things up, it's just he's a guy. It's not for him, so he can never get it right. If we could consider that there is no das here, the guy, he's like a machine, he's pyre somehow, he's a monster, but he's not a person, then I'd say he has no das, and the guy, and the yid that they're saying, write it for Sefer Torah would be enough, the tzivri. Since he's not that way, a guy is a person, a guy has his own ideas, so therefore you cannot say that he's working al das the Yisrael to say the das of the Yisrael that's hiring him is adding Lishma, it's insufficient, and his own das is mufka, so therefore you just don't have Lishma, it's no good. Usually hate of das Rambam, so we're back where we started. Ukvar ha'eni ko yedidi hagon Reb Simcha Zissel, Reb Simcha Zelig, in Brisk, Reb Chaim was the Rav. And officially, he was in charge of the Batei Din, and officially, he was in charge of the Psak Halacha. But on a practical basis, Chaim had people under him. It was a big city, and he was the manager-in-chief, but he wasn't always there. And there was somebody in charge. The one in charge of giving the Psakim was Reb Simcha Zelig. There was the Yid who was in charge of the Psak, and they would speak many times. He was under Reb Chaim, but he did a lot of active things because he was the guy that people went to. So he said Reb Simcha Zelig, his colleague, the one who's under him, is going to give him a raya over here. He's going to help out. What's Reb Simcha Zelig's avoid? But Sugi didn't dafkav gimel. The nachri posel lichtov as a get, mishum the nachri adaita than nafshi kogi. We have a very similar halacha. One of Reb Simcha Zelig's jobs is gittin, and he says it says there in the Gemara that a guy can't write the get. Why? Because a guy does for his own purposes. Adaita than nafshi kogi. Means there mishum unzunos kaven lishma kim do psumi dina. Reb Simcha Zelig also in the Hilchos Gittin said the same word. He said that which the guy is no good. It's not because we're guessing and he didn't mean for this couple to get a divorce. No, it's a din. Because he's a guy, he's not shaykh to Gittin. Therefore, he cannot make the get good. But he was there, and the raya that Simcha Zelig brought, that this is true. He said, what's the raya? Because a guy who's Mechal Shabbos Befer Hesio also has this halacha. That which a yid who's mechal Shabbos v'esiyah is considered like a guy is a punishment. We treat him like a guy. Now, if the guy is just a guess, we don't know what the guy has in mind. Maybe he has in mind it's no good. So then it's not a punishment to say the Yid that's Mechal Shabbos should be that way, because just guess. You're just at the same guess. It doesn't make any sense to say guess. Says he does have a mind, say he doesn't have a mind. If you can figure out what his mind is. But it's just a guess. It doesn't make sense to say he's like a guy. But you say a guy is, it's impossible. A guy cannot get it right no matter how much he tries. He cannot because he's not shaykh to it. Then it makes sense to say the Mechal Shabbos Hesi is like the guy. And is someone who is removed from the possibility of writing a kosher get. So by getting, you need to be writing on the behalf of the husband, and that's called the Shema, and that the guy cannot do. You can't just write in Gittin for this man and for this woman. You need to be the Lishma from the Megarish, from the husband. Has to be the husband tells the sofer, please write for me a get for my wife's Sarah. That's what he has to do. If he doesn't do that, so it's not called the Shema. You can't do the Shema by yourself even if you're a Jew. So the guy, even if he is told by Avram, please write a get for me, my wife Sarah, to divorce her, it can't work because he's a guy. That's what it means also by us in Sefer Torah, that the guy works on his own das, means he's not kofaf and bottled to the das of the person hiring him. You can't use just the das the person says. You have to use the das of the person writing because he's a person. And since he's a guy, he can't be writing good. So though the lashon is he's doing it for his own intention, it means he's a person. And since he's a person, it's not shaykh for him to do the shema because he's a person. There's no shaykhs too. Sefer Torah Tfillin Mezuzahs for us, and also for Tzim Chazal, he's not shaykh to Gittin as well. Very much parallel halachas, the same psul of the guy, the same problem. It's not lishma, the same phrasing. He's working for his own opinion. It means it's not a guess. It means it's a din. And Tzim Chazal said the same word. The Reb Chaim said they totally agree. V'yisod darazeh. Chaim's going further. Nilman mihadasugia Gittin daf mem hey. The Sefer Torah calls nachri tanya idich karimbo. Now there's another brisa. Brisa says a Sefer Torah that's written by a Nachri, by a non-Jew, one Brisa says you're allowed to read it. Now, we don't paskin this way. We don't allow you to read a Sefer Torah that's written by a guy, but there is such a shita. So now we're going to talk about that shita. The Gemara says, must be you hold, you do not need ksiva lishma. Kosher. Says, I have a problem. The Bazkaras Havadi Beinun Lishma, the Kuliyama Kedisa begin Daf Kaf, Daf Nun Dalad, but Lamatina Bezashum Plux a cloud. There is a machlokas whether you need ksiva lishma when you write the Shema Yisrael. Do you need lishma there? And there's an opinion that says you don't need. So the guy can write the Shema Yisrael. But when you get to the Shem Elokeinu, when you get to a shame, Azkaras, that there's no machlokas. All the Tanoim Amoraim all agree you definitely need Azkaras lishma. So if you need Azkaras lishma, how can you have an opinion that says you can read the Sefer Torah that a guy wrote because you don't need ksiva lishma? That could be true by Shema Yisrael, but not by the Shem Elokeinu, that you do need Azkaras lishma. So how is it good when the guy writes it? What's going on? Therefore, I think to say, Gemara says this part is halacha. What happens if the Sefer Torah is written by a min? Min is somebody, we'll see what his identity is, we'll talk about more. A duke b'avodah zarah. A guy is very, very interested in avodah zarah. He wears black suit and a white square collar. He's very, very into his avodah zarah. That guy wrote a Sefer Torah. It's called min. That guy, you just burned the Sefer Torah. But a nachri, a non-Jew who writes a Sefer Torah, slow, you bury it. Okay, we're going to have to talk about this distinction. Okay. I am the Rambam, Yisodi Torah Shkosov, Tam Yisrael. Why are you burning the Sefer Torah? The Fisha Eno Mamin. That guy, he's not writing for Hashem. Kosev's Kosh Shalol Ishman. He's not writing, that's not really a Shem Hashem. Every Shem Hashem is no good. Koshev, Fimash Kasando, Das Rambam, the Nochino Baal Shema, the Kol Maisavim, we've come to Torah Shemaim, Cain. My cousin Nochri Ganes. So therefore, why is the Sefer Torah, those karas that are written by the guy who doesn't go with the white collar, just a regular guy? Why is not Adukin of Avodah Zarah? He's power of a guy. Why is it by him that you bury the Sefer Torah? He should also be the same thing. Burn it because his karas are no good. His karas told the Shema, Avi Kamosh Kosumin. What's the difference? The Pasha Bezehu, Din Shema Sefer Torah Tumel Mazuz Din Shema Shos Karas Chalukim Hein Bezeh. Thus, the din lishma of the Sefer Torah, the Shema Yisrael, is fundamentally different than the din lishma of the Hashem Elokeinu. The Zelosh and Rambam Sham. I'll be curious Yisrael should cause the Sefer Torah serving also. And Apicurus, even though he's born to Jewish mother, but he's an Apicurus. He says, I'm not interested in Torah. I have my own problems. Such a guy, he writes the Sefer Torah, burn it. Imas Karashabom. And Nature, Mami, Kedusha Hashem, Velokosa Lishmo. He didn't write it Lishmo. Ashumayla Badaito Shazeka Shar Dvarim. He's just writing it as a novel. Vahoy Badaito came known as Kaisha Shem. So nothing really comes Shem Shem that you're allowed to burn. Great Din Kedusha Karas, in the Din Kavanish Lishmo, she Bam is covered nose of a Maisik Siva. It's not he's lacking in Lishmo. King do Zel Maisik Siva Atzma. We're talking about the writing. In Nitcha Torah Shem, in Lo. When he gets the pasuk Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu, does he mean it? Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu, does he mean nothing? Kol Shu Nichta B'Torah Shem, Chalei Kedusha Shem, V'Espei Halav D'Lo Sasun King. You're not allowed to erase it. Kamosh goes over Rambam, Dafkos Kedusha Shem, the Kosel Min, Who Met Neishu Mayur Adaitus Zekashar Dvarim. Why is it you burn it? Because the guy who's busy in Avodah Zarah, that guy busy in Avodah Zarah, by him it's something different. It's not really Shem Hashem. It's not a Shem Hashem. If a Lodi Yishbal din knows of Shekavana Shema, it's not you need the Shema, an extra din. Asher lefi zeri nicha, had the kotsu nachi yigones. So that's when the guy writes it, you bury it. Why? Because you don't buy as karis. The din lishma doesn't require that you have extra din lishma that won't be shayked by a guy. It merely requires that you have in mind it's for Hashem. Din the ma'asim mekoyim din chalos lishma, the komakom ksivas le'es b'teres kedushas Hashem. Zel me'etzem din ma'asik siva shein cholak b'zeh, ein chilik b'zeh, bein kotsu nachi the kotsu Yisrael. When a yid or a guy who's working for the money writes the Hashem Elokeinu, all he has to do is he's writing, this is Shem Hashem, this is our God of the Jewish people, Elokeinu. He doesn't need more than that. He doesn't need a special din lishma. He has to just be respecting what he's doing. Listen, they're paying me money. I'm writing for them a Sefer Torah. So by the Azkaras, he's doing fine. He has in mind, it's Hashem, it's Elokeinu, of those Yidden. So that he could do, that's not really a din lishma. That's not a problem for a guy. So therefore the halacha is you're not allowed to erase those names, and you have to bury the Sefer Torah. Masha'en kain. Linya din l'shma shel Sefer Torah Tfillin mezuzah who din nosov shel kavanas l'shma nosov a siva. But the writing, that's a regular din l'shma. V'zeh would mean that nachri shem b'kedusha Yisrael mufka mizeh. He can't add a regular din l'shma. Vein b'maisav Torah l'shma klal. V'asher l'vizarei mavur heitev had the tani Sefer Torah shekosu nachri karinbo. Now we can understand. Why is it when the guy who doesn't wear the white collar, regular guy, writes the Sefer Torah, there's an opinion, even though it's not halacha, that you are allowed to read it? And the Gemara says it's because that opinion holds you don't need ksiva lishma, meaning you don't need the Shema Yisrael to be the Shema. What about the Shem Elokeinu? A guy could do that. The guy is hiring the same. Write Hashem's name. It's Hashem. Malamed also shiach to Lishman. El the king of the Nachi Adas Atzmo also machshav to Lishman who kavanas Atzmo. Lo das is showing Cain. Hananele din kedusha Sefer Torah mitzvahs ma'asim with going to Lishman. By the Shema Yisrael he can't do it. But korachas lo nois kasher ksivasim lo do lo bringing ksiva Lishman. The only way it could be kosher by the Shema Yisrael is if there's no requirement of the Shema. Mashkein li din Lishmanim yuchad bas karis. The time is a gam kavanas Nachi. There can help a guy, and there if the yid tells him what to do, it does work. Okay, Shavim is Kashik Sivaso, Ayadea Hirim Hamalamduno so Shiach to Lishma. So far, very good. We have that. It's a little bit Ibcha Mistabra. Everybody agrees you need Askaras Lishma, but Askaras Lishma is actually easier. It's lighter. All you have to do is for Hashem. You don't have to be connected to it too much. And therefore, the guy really can do that as well. There's no problem with Askaras Lishma. Continues Reb Chaim. Amnam near the Komash Kasam the Dink of Bonus Cars who rackly in a lab of those Asum King, which the cave of the Nechta be a deal of Kavanas Shu, a shame, Hada Begitu Skara, Quavel Labs Asum. I mean, Kokam Yishlom, and then you didn't actually see Vassal, Sir Kavanas Lishma. Wait a second. Certainly the Shem Elokeinu is not better than the Shema Yisrael. If the Shema Yisrael needs a Din Lishma, so the Shem Elokeinu certainly needs that same Din Lishma. Maybe even more than that. Maybe the Din Askaris is even more. You need two things. You need the special din of Askaris that you know it's Hashem and you're not doing it for a different purpose like that because Israel was. And maybe there's an extra din l'shma here that you really need. And all it says by the guy is he's enough to make it. You're not allowed to erase the shame, but maybe it doesn't make it really kosher. If so, we're going to have a problem with that one opinion that says you're allowed to read it. We're going to get there. in a din hechshuv si was het zorgen van onze schmo. Shum do lo so you call the tusha shame shabo ki and the lina cause suben la shame kedusha zoskara. Should have been called this guy in Lebanon. That guy who wrote the Sefer Torah, the Karen boy. You're allowed to read it. Shum do lo mi ksiva shma ha kati mixer the shman kedusha zoskara. Kenois din Torah shma. How can it be that he could add that if it is a din lishma even by his curse? This itself is a machlokes. This is going to work according to everybody. Watch carefully. The tour requires, unlike the Rambam, you do have to say you're writing it for Kedusha Sefer Torah. Simulation of Kosev, Alpisha Omer Betrilis the Sefer Shekosel Shem Kedusha Sefer. The whole part Shekosev Shem, Sorech Lachshov Shekosel Shem Kedusha Shem Akal Hashem. The Torah says when you get to Shem Hashem, you have to have in mind you're thinking about Shem Hashem. For Hikshu, at the Achron of Asakasha, Maishna Kavanas Kedusha Kars Sogi Machshava Lechud meeting see Kavanas Sivas Kol Sefer Torah. Sorech Dafta Shini Omer Sogi Machshava Lebelvad. Torah says to make the Sefer Torah kosher, you have to say you're writing a Sefer Torah. To make the Shem kosher, you merely need to think. Why don't you have to say? Ein Sham Deis Yosef, Bataz, Vida Rena Nira, the high time of the tour, the Shani Din Lishman, Sefer Torah, Tvina Bazos, the Hudin, Kavana Machshav, and no seven Shalishman. Akim Bina Bazed Diber, Kidofino Mami, Piggle. We learn from Piggle, you have to talk. Ashkin Din Kavana Muchedes, Vixivas Oskaras, Kajosh, two actually Yichtav, the Torah Sashem. Shiur Ma'isa v'Yasov b'Mechuvanim Shekosev as Hashem Nimsa Tuze Rak Kavanas v'Yedias Ma'isa Ksiva B'Vad Shuzek Ksiva Hashem L'Chozos in Nosov Shekavanim V'Kein Tzogim B'Zeh Machshav L'Chur. The Torah says that you just need a thought. So now we can understand. Even there's an extra din lishma by the Askaris, but the extra din is not lishma is only a thought in the Torah. A thought is less than a deeper. If you have to speak it out, then the guy is going to be no good. If it's merely a thought, then the guy could be good for that. And then we're back to where we started, that a Nachri can do Kavanah Vaskaris, even if there's some extra din, the thought he can add. But the full din lishma, the first din that Torah has, which the Ram doesn't have at all, so that the guy cannot do. So if you do require Ksiva lishma, so then the guy is no good. And Ram Shimon Gamliel says a guy is no good. And even the Rambam says the guy is no good. The only reason Rambam said the guy didn't say by the Yid that he needs Lishma is because by a Yid who writes, he has Stam Lishma. But by the guy, there is no Stam Lishma because the guy cannot do Sefer Torah Lishma. He can't do Gittin Lishma. Can't add to Sisis Lishma. A guy is Mufka, it's not his mitzvahs, he can't do it. Since it's not his mitzvahs, he can never add a full Din Lishma. But if there's a lesser, lighter Din Lishma, then even a guy could add it. And therefore, it's telling us again whether it's good or not good. And that's as far as we get today.
And
thank you.
Also, last week there was a problem with uploading, with distributing.
Okay.
I've been saving these as private. Let me just stop recording this.